Hello and welcome. My name is Alonda Carter and I am the Recovering Hunbot, and this is season 2 of Hey Hun, You Woke Up. This podcast is brought to you on 10 different podcast platforms, including Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, Google, and Anchor. The video version is on YouTube. Today I am chatting with a former Hun who was able to make it to the top 1%. Not just one company, but 2 companies. She is a nurse by profession, and thankfully she stepped away from the world of MLM. Please welcome Connie to the show. Connie, thank you so much for joining me today. I've been really super excited to talk to you because I know that you hit it big with Modere. And Modere, I recently did a video on them, and it's like, man, what a slimy history. And that's just like the nicest way I can put it. But what I would like to hear about, and I think my viewers would as well, is to hear the story of, like, you started out, you joined MLM for whatever reason, as we all have, that have been in it. I myself was at a low point, and most people usually are. Where were you at? What did you join? Why did you join it? How did that go? And kind of like take me through that little story about your initial experience with multi-level marketing.
Okay. And thank you. Like I said, when I first realized, hey, I think I might be a Hunbot, you're one of the first people that I found on Instagram and the podcast. And it was really helpful for me to really be able to research information on the other side, right? Outside of MLM. But I started MLM in 2014. So I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for almost 31 years. And at that point in time, I was at a really low place, emotionally, physically, not good, needed to lose weight. Saw somebody that I went to high school with posting on Facebook. She just seemed happy. She looked awesome. And I'm like, okay, I need some of that. So really, I joined mainly for a product. I needed to lose some weight. I wanted to feel better. What happens really fast, and what happened really fast there, is that when I signed up a customer, I was invited to one of their meetings. So it just turned out they had a meeting fairly close by where you could meet some of the top leaders. And I went, and it was a lot of law of attraction, personal development. I didn't know what law of attraction was at that time, but what I saw seemed to be a lot of people that were very happy, very supportive, people that are at their lowest points, sharing their story. Now they're a millionaire. So I was sucked in, not really because of money, but I was sucked because I felt like I needed a purpose. I didn't know what my point on earth was. I just lost my dad, and you have all those questions. So that's how I really got pulled into it, was the personal development and community tribe portion of that. So it quickly escalates to the recruiting then.
Doesn't it? And what was the first company you were in?
Isagenix.
Isagenix. Oh, yeah, I think I've done a little bit on it, but I haven't done a lot. And so how long were you in Isagenix?
I was in Isagenix in 2014 and I left in 17.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you gave it some time. And what quote unquote level of success did you experience when you were part of Isagenix?
I didn't really have a lot. I mean, I did have some customers, probably more customers than recruits. I probably just personally recruited less than 10 people. I did recruit some, but it never went anywhere. And during that time, I just thought, okay, I'm new. I didn't feel comfortable with like cold messaging people. That just felt weird. And so I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm not meant for this recruiting thing. I truly thought in it to help people. I can help people feel better. And so you have this conflicting, like, okay, I'm helping people, but then no, it feels like I'm targeting people, to get them to buy something or join the business. So it was a battle. And of course you're told, well, you have to leave that negative thinking behind, and it's up to you to make a difference. And if it's not working, yeah, something you must be doing wrong. I had no idea about income disclosure statements, and no idea. Only, a low percentage of people were successful.
Yeah, I didn't either when I joined. And like you, I mean, I wanted to help people, and I thought this was the vehicle to do that. So when you left Isagenix, where did you go to? Like, why did you quit, and where did you go?
Okay, so I finally quit because we were on a call with a coach that came into our group, which happens a lot. Made the statement, you guys need to stop going or reaching out to fat people. Okay, so we're basically a weight loss company, the shakes, the cleanse, all of that. You need to go for the people, like they own gyms, they're in look. The overweight people aren't really going to do anything. They're not motivated. And I was like, okay, this is the final straw for me, because on one hand, we're saying we're helping people, but then you're totally excluding people that could need this product to get healthier or lose some weight. And that I couldn't ignore it anymore. This is about money. It's about recruitment. That's exactly what it's about. So I thought it was that company. So I'm like, okay, well, there has to be another company out there. So there was a guy, Isagenix, that went over to World. I think it was World Ventures. I've tried to block it out. I'm so embarrassed that I ever joined it. It was the that was supposed to be like a Fitbit deal. I was only in it like 3 months, 4 months at max, because I got the thing. I know how to check my heart rate. It was crap. It didn't work. And so people are spending $1,000, and we're just being told, push it. They'll work later. No. Okay, well, yeah, this definitely is a company I want to be in, because they're lying. The product sucks. And so I was on Facebook again and see this guy saying, I have this coach. She's awesome, personal development, more marketing stuff. Him, and this guy was with Modere. So that's how it happened. Okay, this looks great. I see some. I follow. One was John Melton, because I had a lot of group about attraction marketing, his video challenge. I'm like, oh, if he's, it must. So I joined. I joined. So the guy I joined with was John Melton, was his direct upline.
Okay. Oh, the Meltons. I was right there with you, girl. I was doing their video challenges and thinking it was the way to be able to get attention. And what was so sick about those video challenges, we'd all hop on and, give each other love on the challenge. What the heck is that actually doing? It's not, it's like, it wasn't really doing anything, but I believed it. I bought into the idea. So you were with Modere. How long were you with Modere?
So let's see. I joined Modere like in the fall of 2017. I guess it was around October maybe. And I left, and let's see, it would have been 2019.
Okay. So
it was like a year and a half, or almost 2 years.
So, and you started having success in Modere. Success.
Yes. So I started really having more customers than I had ever, experienced in Isagenix. And I hit platinum level in Modere. So you have like the bronze, gold, silver, platinum, all the wonderful things. So platinum is the highest rank on their customer builder side. So with Modere, you have a customer pod and you have a business builder side. So you have 2 different ranks going.
Wow. Okay. So you have your customers, so you get people sucked in to try the products. Where were you getting these customers from?
It was mainly social media, but also just people that I knew. I mean, I am a nurse, and I think people trusted me just knowing me from before. And I've been on freaking Facebook doing Facebook Lives for so long. They're probably like, just stop. I'll just get something from you if you'll just stop. Um, so, it was people that I worked with, friends that I knew, and some people on social media that to products. And so that's how it started. What I can say is, and I believe this would be the case for any company, I've been in several myself, say, okay, I just want to focus on customers and help them. But you see all this other stuff. Oh, these people are making money and you can do this. You're a rock star. You're at platinum. Let's build it up, carry it over to recruiting. Let's come on, bump you up because that's where the real money comes in. So you can say customer all day long, and it's just they're exposed to the business. You put them in the business groups, or that's how it used to be, even if they're a customer. So you're doing everything you can to say or show them, like, see all these people having success. That could be you. You're already sharing this maybe with a couple of your friends. So why not get paid?
That just it just gives me, I don't know what, shivers. It's just like, because it's just so typical for any company to say. They all say the same stinking thing, I mean, honestly. So
Yeah.
these customers, so you get the customer and they're trying the product, and you stick them in these business groups so that they're exposed. You too can be making money. So how much money were you making when it was just the customers?
Really, I mean, I rank advanced on the business side because I did recruit some people, but I never went above, it's called like senior consultants. So they have consultant, senior consultant, director, and then you start moving up the chain. So I never really went too far into the recruitment. I pulled my records before I joined, and I didn't have time to do that. But I made probably within a year, it was less than 10,000. I'd say probably 7 or 8,000 that I made. The other thing that goes along with that is you hit a rank, but you start over at zero every month. Just because I hit platinum didn't mean I was getting platinum pay the whole entire time. So that's something they don't tell you, or they didn't tell me.
What is platinum? Blech, I can't even talk. Platinum pay. I want to say platinum play, but it is kind of play. Anyway, what were you getting? Like, what were you supposed to get as a platinum person with customers?
Oh gosh. And see, that's the other, you have to have so many point, like volume orders and a certain number of customers. So let's say I could have 10,000 points in volume, but if I only had 3 customers or 4, it doesn't count. So let's say you might have to have 5 customers with, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4,000 in business volume to actually hit the rank. And I mean, it's been a while ago, and I try to block it out, but it was really no more a month. It was less than $1,000. Probably less, I would say, than $600, $600 or $700. And most people don't maintain. I didn't maintain that every month, and it took me, let's see, at least probably months to hit platinum. And then the very next month, guess what? I wasn't platinum anymore. It dropped.
And that's the thing that's so frustrating, is that there's so much hoopla put for like all these ranks and for achieving it. It's like, yeah, you get it once, but now you got to climb that hill again. It's like you don't stay there. It's ongoing work. Now, speaking of the ongoing work, how many hours were you spending a week on your side hustle?
Oh God. It feels like I never had a moment after my real job to myself. I mean, really, I'd finish work 5 o'clock. have dinner, and then from 7 until bedtime, I was working on the business. It was either personal development, joining team calls. Of course, I eventually jumped into other coaches like Rank Maker, so that was taking a lot of time. Really, a lot of busy work. Who can I message? Modere is big on ATM, that's ad tag message. That's something John and Nadia talk a lot about as a way of exposing people.
What's ATM? Because I mean, I've heard it too, because I remember when I followed them, but I don't remember what ATM stands for.
It's add. So you're adding a person to a group. Tag. You find a post that hits their pain point. You tag them in that message. You're going to send them a message in Facebook Messenger about your product, your opportunity. So you're doing that all day long. So really, the video challenge post, if anybody likes it, if anybody comments on it, that starts the process of ad tag message.
Oh,
it was nonstop work. It's, oh gosh, like I said, I mean, at least 3 or 4 hours in the evening, sometimes in the morning before work. I found that I wasn't really even focusing as much on my real job that was paying my bills. Now that I look back on it, I'm just like, how could I ever have gotten, into this? But it takes up a lot of time. I didn't spend time with my family. I started looking at my husband as he's not motivated. He doesn't support me. Started even looking at him in a different way. So it's a miracle we're still together. It takes up every single minute. If you really are sucked into it and like, I can do this if I just put in the work, you don't have downtime. Everything is about the business. Even if you go on vacation, oh, let me take a picture, show I'm working on the beach, y'all. It's insane. And
in the real world, nobody gives a flip if you are working on the beach or where you are. I mean, nobody's impressed, But in the world of multi-level marketing, that's like, oh, because I can remember when I'd go get like a mani and a pedi, and I'd take a picture because I'd be doing it at, it's like some weird hour of the day, let's say 11 in the morning. And it's like, basically, wouldn't you like to have this kind of freedom? I mean, who cares? It's not that important. It's not that deep, girl. But I believed and you believed. And that's the thing. Now, speaking of the Meltons, because, I've done some videos on them, and having been in their video challenges myself, they feel very plastic and like a lot of show. So can you talk a bit about your experience with them, since you were basically on John's downline, even though you weren't under him directly?
right. Really, the way that you see them in their videos, promoting like the video challenge, they have a free group. I even joined their paid group, which is another thing that kills me about this whole thing. Like, if you're in a company, shouldn't you get all that for free? You shouldn't have to pay for it. But I did. But it really kind of the same message, just like 1 million X that. It's like hustle, hustle, hustle. If you have to get up at 4 in the morning, if you have to stay up, 12 at night, you do what you got to do. It's all up to you. Just constant push, push, push. The same thing, everybody needs to be doing videos, posting, this many times a day, just non-stop. Now I can say that my upline that I joined with, his own coaching business, he and his wife, so they weren't extremely involved or engaged with Modere. What they would do is get people in from social media, get them to join Modere, and then push their coaching stuff. That's how they made their money.
Oh.
So yes, a lot of that goes on. So at a point, I did start having, conversations with John, because I'm like, I'm hanging out here by myself. And so I would be connected with another top leader, okay, go into this group. So you constantly feel like you're searching for that person that can finally, like, okay, this is what I've been looking for. This is the miracle, There's so many people in that group and so many people on his team. I mean, It's just really similar to their group. That's what I would say. They're doing videos, messages. I don't know if the man sleeps really. Personally, I never had any negative interaction with him until I left.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I got some messages.
From
But
him?
yeah.
And they were less than kind?
Yeah, and a lot of it was bashing the person that I went with, because the person I left to join, she used to be one of the top leaders in Modere. She left.
Oh.
And so when I left Modere and went there, then, which now, I mean, some of what he said was true. I didn't know it at the time, but it's just a lot of that. Like, you're just X'd out. How could you? What are you doing? You have all the support, that kind of thing. You get that everywhere.
Yeah, the guilt trip,
Yeah.
which really it's impacting their bottom line, that's.
It does. Now, if you're somebody that didn't make a dime, whatever, bye. But the higher you get, the more money you make, they care.
Yeah.
And that's where you see lawsuits start coming in. Now, I wasn't at that level, but yeah, they want to shut people down for sure.
Oh yeah, have you seen my videos where I've covered, like what lawsuits have gone on? And what's so interesting about the Meltons is that they were in VEMA, and which was found to be a pyramid scheme. It's like, when you start being associated with something that's already been shut down, that should give you pause. But these people go from one opportunity, and I use that word loosely, to another, especially if they start seeing a decline in something, then they move over to something else, and they just, bring their team with them. And there's backdoor deals going on to get other people to come with them as well. It's like, it's all just so deceitful, because none of it is real, but yet they put it out there that anyone can do it. Anyone can.
Right. And I had no idea about those deals. But what I started to see, every company is a little bit different. But with Modere, at least when I was there, when somebody joined your team, they're kind of hanging out here and they're not placed on a leg or under someone for a certain amount of time. So you can move them. Okay, let's say you join my team. You think you're joining the huge, producing team, and you're joining with a leader. I can move you under someone for my benefit because I need volume there. But you're on this leg that nothing is happening. There's really, it take like an act of God for you to ever do anything. You don't know this stuff. It's like pawns. You're just moving people around and placing them where you need them so that you can rank advance and get higher. A lot of that goes on.
Yeah.
And people, yeah.
So I come on, and it's like, and I have no idea that I'm on a dead leg, so to speak. Nor do I know if anybody is going to be placed underneath me, which would help my volume. And like, maybe there's not going to be, because it's like, it doesn't really matter. You're just stuck, because you happen to need volume there. But then somebody else comes along and they get placed somewhere, depending on where they're placed. And that's at a helpful position. And then they're able to start having success.
Yes. And so they'll do challenges. So the first, 5 or the top 5 people that enroll someone or sell something will place somebody under you. But they do it strategically. So if I have 3 people that did that, but I see this person needs volume, if it looks like, oh, this might be a winner, this might do something, I'm going to put them under her. It's so shady, disgusting, unfair, whatever kind of word you can think of that goes on.
Yeah.
You're just, it's not a person. How can this person serve me?
Yeah.
Really.
Now, what's interesting also about like the Meltons and stuff, because again, back to them with their whole Modere thing, is, I was in Rank Makers also with Ray Higdon. And so you'd see the Meltons, in their group, and it's like, vice versa. It's like they feed off of each other, which they're basically, in my opinion, they're just serving up fodder for the other person to consume, because it goes back to like what you were saying. You're looking for that, oh, maybe this thing will work for me. So if you're not having success through the Melton coaching program, it's like, but maybe Higdon's is going to work. He sounds really good. So you buy from that person. Is that kind of what you experienced as well?
It happens all the time. So Ray Higdon would come into our team group. And of course, at the end is the pitch, I have rank makers, it's only $20 a month, or I have this upcoming, class. Well, everybody's like, okay, well, this is the thing, he's going to give me something that's going to help. But then, you'll have John and Nadia or whatever leader being interviewed by Ray in rank makers or on his page. And so that gives them exposure to pull people into their business. So it's just, they feed off of one another, and it happens everywhere. The one thing that I never really understood, because so Ray Higdon was in, MLM, Fraser Brooks, they gave up their spots, right? So John and Nadia, our coaches, are still in MLM. And I know there's a line there where that could be a problem. I mean, you're exposed to a lot of people in MLM, and you have your own business. So I always wondered how they did it.
Well, it's interesting because they're also selling their paid group to members of Modere, which goes against like when especially like with the Amway ruling and stuff. It's like the tool scam and all of that. It's like, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be making your people pay for this stuff. In
Right.
Beachbody, there were, and I don't know of all the groups. There was no leader that was offering, courses or anything for you to take as a Beachbody coach from that person. As a matter of fact, there was somebody who was hooked up with this kind of law of attraction, spiritual kind of, money manifestation gal that I just thought was the bee's knees at the time. And I still look at her and she's precious as can be, but I'm like, oh, but you're shady as all get out. But this Beachbody coach that teamed up with her, she could not sell her course to Beachbody coaches. That's like was all in the writing thing. But there were some Beachbody coaches that are like, I'm just not going to say that I'm a Beachbody coach, because they wanted to get in and get it. It's just
Right.
It's shady,
Right. I mean, because I still have a membership for one of their things. It's now, I guess maybe they're really careful about not pushing that. Like everybody knows they have it, but not maybe promoting that as much within the team group.
Right.
I don't know. But I mean, hey, if you're like, gosh, they're the best, like top leaders, of course I want to buy stuff from them, But I'll tell anybody that's watching, if you're still in it, every single coach says the same exact thing, and most of it doesn't even come from them. They've taken it from other sources, business sources. I mean, the truth of the matter is you have to have a huge following. You have to recruit. Those people you recruit, unless they have a huge following, it's not gonna happen. That's it. I mean, that's it. There's no secret to this.
You need a big network of people who will say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people you bring on need big networks, it's like
Right.
that's really the bottom line of how it goes. But until you start really, again, peeling back those layers of the onion when you're on the other side, because you're not going to peel back those layers when you're in it, because you believe as long as I do the work and I don't stop, I keep going and I follow, whatever plan is laid out for you and do the things, success will come. I just recently saw, and you probably have heard this expression, and when I saw it, I wanted to reach the screen and grab the person and just choke the life out of them. And the title of the video was "Success Leaves Clues." And I about came undone, it's like, because I believed that at one time, And
I did too.
Yes.
And the 5 people you surround yourself, like the average of the 5 people. It's like I said, just looking back on it, for me, it is a cult. It was a cult. It'll always be a cult. It's been almost a year since I quit, and I'm still working it. because it takes away, like when you really feel like that's your purpose, that you're really helping people, you've had this whole thing in your mind and all of that's gone. Like you finally see, like, these people are lying. This whole thing is a scam. A lot of people are hurt. They don't care. It's bad.
And that's the thing. It's like when I do the research, and I may have said this in some of my videos. I don't know if I have, but I've talked to people about it. Is that I want to like these people. I don't want to like just immediately like hate them and trash them, because I don't want to trash someone as a human being, but it's like the actions of what they're doing, and it's like that they are deceiving so many people, but they come across as charismatic,
Yeah.
believable, caring, and like someone you could just like go to coffee with and hang out with. And I'm like thinking, what, they're probably nothing really like that. That's all a mask. It's all a charade to get people to believe.
Yeah, and it is hard to know, but I think once you get to a certain level, like we talked about, you have to know what you're doing. There's no way around it. Um, and it's, I don't know. I guess, some people are just like, well, screw it. I mean, I love the money. I want the money. And, okay, bottom line, if they really believe in the industry and they're not trying to scam anybody and they want to be honest, say up front, this percent of people will make it. If you still want to join, you still want to try, fine. Why don't they do that?
Yeah.
Because they know. I mean, that's never discussed. I never looked at an income disclosure statement until I left my last company.
Now, your
I
last
didn't.
company was My Daily Choice, or HempWorks, which the person I signed up underneath under Beachbody, she left and she went to direct sellers. She left direct sellers, which I don't think is an MLM anymore. And she went to My Daily Choice as well. I don't know if she's still with them or not, but she hopped. And a lot of people hop, which, I find that very interesting, because I remember one of the things that I was told when I was in MLM, it's just something about, and I may have the words wrong, how you lose your credibility by moving to different companies, and less people will follow you or something. And I don't know how true that is, but I do know people move because they're making less money and they see another business, again I use the word loosely, as a vehicle for them to pump up their bank account again. So
Oh yeah.
tell me a bit about your My Daily Choice experience. And did you get up in there? What happened? And then when did the penny drop and you're like, F this, and I'm like, I'm done. Peace out.
So, like I said, several of the top leaders left Modere, and you don't know this really unless you're on their team, because they keep it very isolated. Each top leader, group, and team. So you can only go into their Facebook group. So if a top leader leaves, you don't know it unless somebody tells you. So I saw where this other person had left. She was one of the top leaders, really energetic, seemed to be fun. It seemed like her team was exploding, in Modere. And I'm like, God, why would she leave, So I started, following her and stalking, I guess. Reached out and joined. So yeah, this person left because of the money. There was a change in the compensation plan at Modere. That's when several of the top people left. That's what they do. It's a business to them, money. So I joined, like, this is cool. It's going to be awesome because she's so engaged with the team, and I'm going to be a millionaire. I just know it. Um, and it did go pretty fast when I first joined, because at CBD at the time it was hot, like a hot item. Why, I thought, okay, you can go anywhere really and buy it. I mean, there are good CBD, bad CBD, but I had a lot of success. Like the first week I made $700. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Lots of people wanting to join, I think because they saw like the momentum at that time. And so I did go pretty quickly. Now I can say I only hit 5K. Like that's the first recognized real rank. But to hit 5K, you're in less than 1%, according to the income disclosure statement. That will do that.
So what was the money that you were making when you were with My Daily Choice?
My daily choice, I mean, that's probably the most money that I did make. Gosh, and in 1 month though, still, I'd say it was less than 1,500, 2,000. I mean, and that wasn't every month though.
Right.
A month would be huge. And then the next month, nothing, you know. Plus you could buy, which I'd never seen this before. If you wanted to get like the maximum commission, could really buy your way into the executive pack. So I pay more money a month and I'm getting all these products myself. I can get more of a commission if I do sell something. So you can buy your way into that. The possibility of getting more commission.
Oh, that's just slimy, you know. That's just really bad.
Yeah. And so of course you want people to buy the executive pack. That's what was pushed to me, because you're going to get, this percentage of commission, and you want to be able to tell people you bring in that that's what you got started on. And I didn't do it in the beginning, but I admit I did. I paid the money so that I could get potentially more commission later. So you're buying these products. There's no way you're going to be able to use it all. Like who needs CBD? Who needs cream? I've got all this stuff here. And it really, what made me finally realize, like, yeah, I've got to get out. My sister and a really good friend that I met on Facebook, we were in a lot of coaching groups together, joined my team. And so you're told that if people don't have success, it's their fault. They're not doing the work. They don't have a big enough why, all that crap. And I believed it, because finally I was making some money. I mean, not 6 figures, but I was making some money. So I watched them for a year work. Like I'd never seen anybody work just so hard, messaging people, doing all the things that you're supposed to do, but no results. So I'm thinking, okay, say if you do all this, if you're coachable, you'll have success. I'm like, I found myself on Zoom calls, like these team calls, in my mind going, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's not true. So I was having a battle in my mind, because what they do, you go to so many events. I want a trip to Disney with Fraser Brooks. You're so into it.
Yeah.
You don't have time to think about what's going on. I even pulled him to the side. Now this is Fraser Brooks. And I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to ask. Okay, I've got this person. She's on my team. She's doing this. Why is she not having success? And he said, well, most people aren't doing what they say they're doing. No, she is. I know for a fact. Okay, then you need to see what kind of messages she's sending. Okay, well, I know what they are, because they're your script or the Ray Higgins script.
Right.
She was in both groups. So nobody could tell me. And I asked my upline, and she's like, she's big on this whole Christianity kick. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying anything about any of that. She was like the furthest thing away from that I'd ever seen, and how she acted. It's the devil trying to convince you that you're not good enough, to do this. I know this might sound crazy to people that are listening, like, how could you be so, how could you fall for this kind of stuff? It's a cult. That's how. And so I started having these thoughts. I even talked, to my sister and my friend, like, I can't do this anymore. It doesn't feel right. When the pandemic started, I actually had time to actually think for myself for once. And I think that was a huge thing. The other thing is they were pushing the business on people that had lost their jobs. That made me really angry. A lot of people were struggling. I couldn't do it, wouldn't do it. And so I started, I wasn't included in stuff. Like, it was obvious I was kind of backing out a little bit. And it just started feeling more disgusting, by the day. So I'm like, that's it. I'm out. I can't do this anymore. Well, can I have your team and put it under this person? And I said, no, no, not doing that. Not going to give you the satisfaction of that. You can sell your team to people.
Oh, wow.
Didn't know that. I didn't do that either. After I did a Facebook Live, just to go in and talk about, I'm out of MLM, because I had started doing research. I found you, I found other people. I'm like, there's no going back from this. I mean, hours. I was watching videos, doing research, bought Robert Fitzpatrick's book, the whole 9 yards. And when I did my Facebook Live, just to say I'm leaving and this is why, my upline joined that, just completely bashed me. That thing went viral. So it was good. It was traumatizing for me, but people were able to see what really happens. If you quit, okay, but if you say anything, this is what's going to happen. So I got threatened with a couple of lawsuits. The company reached out to me, like, better not do more videos, better not say anything about this. And it did. It scared me. Like, who am I to fight, these people? The person that really helped me see the truth of what it is still in the business. And that hurts. I brought people in and they're still there. Some people did leave when I left, but it hurts, and it shows the damage that's being done, and people don't realize it. Not everybody in it, they're not bad people. They're brainwashed. I mean, in my opinion, there are some top leaders that, yeah, I'd love to bash them because they deserve it. They know exactly what they're doing. But that's one reason why I was drawn to you, because you do it from an educational standpoint. And I already felt bad enough about myself and guilty. I didn't want somebody like slamming, oh, look how crazy these ones are. That helped me. Like, here's the education, here's the real deal. Now you take it. If you decide you still want to stay in it, fine. So from my perspective, I like to approach it that way, because if you just go at it as pyramid scheme, they tell you day one, people are going to tell you that. So it doesn't really help in the beginning.
Yeah, I've said for a long time, and I'm sure you've seen in my videos, because like I wouldn't consider you like a scammer, because clickbaity, like, look at this scammer. And it's like, no, people like Fraser Brooks, Ray Higdon, the Meltons, I mean, when they get way up there, those are the people who are the real scammers, because they're doing it knowingly and they're making money off of all of these people who are making nothing and are just holding on to the belief for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And that's the real problem, is that all of those people, and then it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, they all feed off of each other as well. And it's like, because they all have basically the same audience, even though there may be nuances, but in terms of like all of these people who they're looking for the answer. They're looking for someone that can show them the light, that can teach them, that they can somehow, they're going to make it work. Oh, I found this person, because I can remember, bouncing from, coach to coach to coach thing, thinking that, and like you said, they are all saying the same things. They say it slightly differently. They have a slightly different personality, but they all are using that same, playbook, in terms of like, you help me, I help you. And what's not, and I think they're just saying this in their mind, is like, well, the people that aren't getting anything from me now, because they've been trying, but they'll pay you for it. And it's like a vice versa sort of a thing, which is just, I just say it's all incestuous, because all of these very top people, it's like, you're all part of the same pod.
Yeah. The coaches to me are almost as bad, or if not the worst. The top leaders who, people treat like they're God. Yeah. I mean, in rank makers, it's like it would go around, what would Ray do? What would Ray say? I mean, they're just like on this pedestal, and it's disgusting. They know exactly what they're doing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How can they not? I mean, they'd have to be blooming idiots, and they're not idiots. They're just people who are willing to drop their morals, drop their ethics, in order to make a buck and what serves them. They're not there to serve you. They're only there to serve their own wallet.
Right. Right.
It makes me so mad. It just makes me so mad. But I'm so very glad that you got out, and it hurts my heart hearing how you still know people who are involved, because I know that pain that is there from it, because they're being further damaged. And you've been able to step away, and you know that they're still in that vortex of law of attraction BS, and fake it till you make it, all the cliches.
Yeah. And somebody that, you think that they're your friend. And I mean, okay, I make money, but these people aren't. And I can see that. They're the ones actually not even making anything and are still in it. It hurts. Like, and I don't like a lot. I don't like confrontation. I try to be the peacemaker, and I just sat back for as long as I could. And you can't force anybody to see the truth. Something and has to eventually happen to be that trigger, like it was for me. If that had not happened, I don't know. I'd still be there, maybe thinking that, this is gonna be the thing. And I'm not the person that needs a mansion. Would I love to, be able to go on vacation anytime? Yeah, that's nice to me. But I mean, I was so convinced even that my job, corporate nurse job, pays good money, was holding me back. They call it the golden handcuffs. And
Oh,
so, like, I just can't even believe that I just lost focus on that. Even that's paying my bills. I didn't watch TV because it's not a money making activity. Um, Using my grandson for a prop, for a picture or a video is so disgusting. But I didn't think that it was at the time,
right,
you
right.
know? Um, so it's like I just kind of went, I mean, you're blocked out of everything once you finally leave. Then you're questioning your own judgment and who am I kind of a deal. And I did start a YouTube channel. I just have one video out there, and I was nervous, but I just keep feeling like I did this for over 6 years. If I don't say something, if you don't say something, people aren't going to know what the deal is. Um,
And that's why it's so important for people to speak out and, tell their stories, whether it's to me or to someone else, or make your own videos. I mean, it's just important, because this is the reality. It's, all the glitz and glamour and, all of that. That's not what most people are experiencing. They think they're going to get there. But like we've already discussed, I mean, income disclosure statement and all, no, you're
mhm.
you're not given the reality up front, and it's only, you see it only if you stumble across it, because I know people who've been at it in different companies for 20, 30 years. They're not, making
Mhm.
really anything. It's But yet they're still hustling as if that's going to somehow. And I think, how much time are you actually losing in your life chasing that dream?
You're losing it all. It's a 24/7 hustle mentality. I would be stressed because I'm trying to think of Facebook Live topics, a kid crying in the background, just constantly, edge. I got to do this. I haven't posted. Oh God, it's just, it never ends, and you don't know the real truth of it. Really, if they took the whole law of attraction, all that crap out of it, I don't know that anybody would stay longer than a week or so, because you're like, yeah, this is not working. But they put that into you pretty fast
Oh,
so that you believe.
that personal development, and the Think and Grow Rich BS. I mean,
Oh,
all.
yeah, I have the books. Going to the conferences, Bob Proctor. I got way into him. He came to a huge conference at My Daily Choice, Les Brown. They're like, oh God, yeah. I mean, if they like these people, like this is the company. And they're even telling you, like Bob Proctor, this is the company, your leaders are, the people that you need to be with. And
Yeah, yeah. a bunch of criminals, in my opinion. Just saying, I just think they're a bunch of criminals.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
You know
They
what they're
are.
doing, and they're just deceiving them. Well, they're deceiving themselves and the world. I mean, maybe they know, like, oh, I'm just a big old scumbag, or maybe they don't. Maybe they think they actually are, fabulous people. But you know,
Yeah.
in my book, they're not. I think it's like, waking up and being able to see this for like, oh, it's not all glitter is gold. It's actually very tarnished and just really, again, slimy, scummy. Yeah, there's just so many words that can be used to bad words just to describe it. I'm not going to be like, oh, yay for MLM. No, because there's way too many people that are being harmed by it. So now that you're out and you're still a nurse and everything, what is the difference? How does your life feel different now that you're on the other side?
Oh God, it's so different. I can actually sit on the couch with my husband and watch Netflix. I binged on Netflix for months because that was just something that was in my mind. Like, I can't do that. That's not good. Losers do that. That kind of, I mean, it's just crazy thinking. But if we go on vacation, I don't have my phone. We're actually having a vacation, and I'm not having to worry about a photo op or, I need to do this live. I've focused on my work. I've been promoted. Um, like everything just falling into place. I've paid off all my credit cards like after I left MLM, you know? Um, it's I love my life. I don't need anything else. I have my family, lots of quality time. I finally over the point that I need to post on Facebook, a lot. And the algorithm, like, I'm finally out of that mindset. I'm happy. I'm happy. I mean, it does make me sad to see other people are just, it used to, I told my husband that you're just constantly trying to friend everybody and see how many friends you can get. Now I'm unfriending people. Like, why the hell would I ever add these people that I don't know who they are? So it's just a total mindset shift of what's really important, not blaming myself because, I'm not doing enough. I will say if somebody is, thinking about leaving or they've just recently left, what I went through, you're so used to 24/7 grind. I was for 6 years. You don't know what to do with yourself. I consider being a coach, like a, a mindset coach, maybe a nutrition coach. Oh, wait, I'm a nurse. I could go into nurse consulting. Like, you're just so into that, you feel like you have to keep doing that. Like, one of my fears was, what am I going to do if I'm not doing this? Because I had, depression in the past before I joined MLM, and I'd come out of it. So my thought, if I have too much time, am I going to go back, to not being happy, to feeling like I don't have a purpose? And I did go through some of that when I left, but I'm happy to say I'm on the other side. Still some things trigger me and piss me off, and that's why I'm not going to give up on it, because people need to know. But everything's turned around 1,000%. Don't have really communication with any of these people. They made sure of that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. They're not your friends.
Yeah.
They're not true friends, and you will find that out if you leave or if you're not bringing the money.
I think the favorite thing that you said is how you binged with Netflix. Because you're told, like, oh yeah, don't waste time with all of that. And sometimes there's just no better feeling than it's like, you find a show and it's like, oh, this is so good. And just, and it's fun. It's, there's nothing wrong with watching movies, watching shows, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
No.
Do what you want to do to make you feel good, in your spare time. Your spare time should not be filled with, I got to come up with a Facebook Live topic. Oh my gosh, you got to message all these people. All of that is detracting from your life and not really adding to it. But you think, as long as I keep doing this, that it's going to pay off.
Mm-hmm.
And your payoff is, after you've left, you now feel free and you can enjoy your life. And you know what I loved also that you said, because you're like, oh, I don't need a mansion. I mean, who really needs all those things that they show you? I mean, I that's not happiness, and having it, everything being very showy and showing the cash and the designer this and that. Most of that I don't give a flip about. I just want to have, my family, my house, and do my thing. And that feeds my soul. And it sounds like that's what it does for you too, is just, being happy with your surroundings, with what you have. You don't have to keep on reaching for this whatever, that is like to push that hustle culture type thing.
Right.
Sometimes just slowing down and enjoying the moment is more important than anything.
Yeah, because you really are missing out. And it really upset me to think of the time that I wasted away from my family, and even some of the thoughts, like I said, I had about my husband or friends, like they're just not motivated, they just don't get it, that kind of thing. And I'll tell you, quite a few of the people that are in the industry, at least that I know, they already had nice homes. Maybe it could be their husbands, or they were making already 200, 250 a year, maybe more. They already had the pools and the handbags so you can just incorporate that, right? So now you're in MLM and look, I have this nice house. Nobody really knows the background, or you're going into debt trying to look like you have these things when you don't. And even if you do make money, I mean, I did make money, but I spent thousands on coaches, going to events, because if you don't go to an event, you're not serious about your business. The flights, the product. I mean, yeah.
It's a long list. So if there's a message that you could give to someone who is, one, considering joining MLM, someone who is on the cusp of like, maybe I should get out, and someone who has recently left, what is a message that you would like for them to hear from you?
I think that the biggest thing, if you're considering it, do your research. Actually, somebody messaged me. I don't know who this person is, but they saw my video, and they're in Modere using Modere products and wanted to just do the customer thing because they didn't want to recruit. So I said, here's the thing. You reset every month. Start asking yourself why. Why would you want to go into MLM? If you need extra money, you'll be making less than minimum wage, like pennies maybe, with the time that you're investing into that. So look at the income disclosure statement. Really think about why you're looking to do something else. You may have other talents or things that you could do to make way more money in less amount of time than you would with an MLM. If you're in it and you're considering leaving, same thing. Do your due diligence and look at both parts, because when you're an MLM, you're just fed all this information about the industry and things that aren't true. You're not told the truth. So what I did, look at your own resource, get on Instagram, podcast, and then make a decision. Okay. If you feel like, yeah, I still want to do it, okay, that's fine. But at least do your research. I trusted way too much of what other people told me and didn't look. I didn't look. I researched ingredients on products. As a nurse, that's important. I had no idea about what I was getting involved in. So, and don't, it's easy to say, don't blame yourself, don't feel guilty, because you will. We all feel that way, but to know that you're not alone, because I felt totally isolated from all this love bombing, you're awesome, you're the best, to no communication, and just finding other people that have been through similar things. It really helped me a lot, and it's a process. If you have a therapist, unfortunately, a lot of them aren't well versed in this. Hopefully, more will be going forward, to talk through what you're feeling, because it's devastating. It was to me.
Yeah. I think that's a really good message, is that even if therapists aren't really educated in the world of MLM, if more people start talking about the feelings that they're having, of the aftermath, maybe that will be something to get them to look into it, or, like, because I really do feel like our mental health system needs to have something for people who are more victimized by this, industry.
Oh yeah. I mean, and I had a therapist. So another thing, and I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but I had a health condition, and I think a lot of that was brought on by stress. The stress of trying to rank up, the stress, oh, I'm 200 points away from platinum. It was just like never ending. So I got a therapist. I was having some difficulty just, coping with that. And I brought up the fact like, hey, this is a huge deal for me. She had no idea what MLM was. So I've used that as an opportunity to try to educate her in case somebody else comes along. But it really is very similar to a cult. I mean, like it is. And trying to pull yourself back from like who I really am,
Right.
who I was before this indoctrination. That's what it is. So hopefully more people will, be aware. And I think with people sharing their story, that will help a lot. I hope.
Yeah, me too. And I agree. Well, I want to say thank you so very much for your time. And I really appreciate everything that you shared. And, maybe you can come back some other time. There's plenty we can get in. I mean, just the personal development in and of itself. Like we could probably do like our top 10 like books that we want to burn, or something.
I have them behind me. Lots of them. Yes.
Mine are packed away right now, but I haven't gotten rid of them. There's a lot of stuff I have not gotten rid of because I'm like, this can be some content. This might be useful. So that's why I hold on to it, is how can I use this as a tool to teach others? So, but again,
well, that, and I have a lot of notebooks.
Oh.
So when I won my Disney trip, all the notes from Frasier, all the notes from the train, I have them because I thought, all you'd have to do is summarize. Like this is what it is, people. This is what you're going to get. So yeah, we'll have to do that sometime.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, well, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
I think it is utterly amazing, frustrating, and insightful that although Connie was in the 1%, she was not making all that much money, which I think really highlights that within the top 1%, there is only a tiny sliver who are making the big bucks. I am so very glad that Connie made the decision to leave MLM and is working on healing from the experience. Anyone ever involved in an MLM has scars. Those scars run deep and are very long. What did you find most eye-opening about Connie's experience? If you are thinking your MLM is different, I wish I could share your optimism. Alas, I have examined far too many of these companies and the pattern is clear to me. Very few will make money, and those who do have to be willing to leave their ethics and morals behind. Thank you so very much for your time, and remember, you're beautiful and I love you.